It's the biggest factor in a video game's success or failure. Hi, I'm Rebecca Brayton, and welcome to WatchMojo.com. Our host Mike Patel got the chance to speak with industry analyst Jesse Divnich about the importance of marketing.
How much of a game's budget should typically go into marketing?
Video games, interactive, video games has only been around as a serious platform or as a serious industry for about, maybe 10 years. So unfortunately, there's just not enough data. I like to think that out of the total revenue you expect, you should spend about 15 to 20% on marketing. The one thing I do know for sure is that we don't spend enough on marketing. I think video game companies skimp on marketing way too often, and that comes at a sacrifice. In fact, if you want to know the exact stat, marketing in terms of its correlation or its influences to sales, marketing influences sales 3.5 times more than game quality or game review scores. So marketing is probably the single most important feature.
Do you feel that game developers put more marketing dollars behind new IPs or established franchises?
They certainly put them behind established franchises because there's less risk involved, and that's the problem. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So a game's like Mirror's Edge, right? A Mirror's Edge was a pretty decent game, but didn't have a lot of marketing back behind it. The reason why EA didn't want to back the marketing because there was a risk there. I mean, it was a first-person platformer. It was really a new genre. Publishers are just like financial mutual funds. They minimize risk, diverse the portfolio. Most new intellectual properties do not succeed because, I believe, of marketing. But if they do somehow be able to crash through that ceiling, then all of a sudden they get all the marketing. When in truth, the truth is they should be supporting it with a lot of marketing for the new intellectual property. And then once it's well known, you don't really need to market it because then it's a brand. It's an established brand. It's something that's recognized.
Do game developers ever go out on a hunch, or do they follow the analysts with marketing?
It's very hard to trust data because when you are a level designer, a programmer, you look at video games from an art form, and that does truly come from within, the gut instinct. But the truth is, data drives everything. Every movie that's coming out, a lot of people want to attribute it to the good writers or good producers, but the realism of the situation is that everything's being backed by data. There's some executive at Paramount that greenlighted, Transformers because the data supported it. Should you go against creative instinct? No, you shouldn't, because there still needs to be people out there who think outside the box. If everybody just looks at historical data and bases their games off that, then we're never going to evolve in the industry. But if you decide to go with your gut and go against data, it's a big risk. And here's a good example. Little Big Planet, right? Little Big Planet took a huge risk. There was no data out there to actually support that user-generated content would work on the PS3. Sony took a huge risk. Media Molecule took a huge risk with that product, and it was a gut instinct, and it succeeded. But at the same time, for every Little Big Planet, there's 5 other games that completely bomb because they went with their creative instinct. But those are important because those are games that really do evolve the industry.
Thank you very much. It's been very informative.
Oh, no, I definitely appreciate it. Anytime.